I'm an archaeologist. I'm professor emeritus from the University of West Georgia in Carrollton. I'm very interested in the preservation initiative for Cannons Point because it has a tremendously important set of both historic and prehistoric archaeological resources, including the plantation. I'm a member of the History Group Task Force for the Cannons Point Preservation Project, and our role is to evaluate all the historic and archaeological resources at Cannons Point, what their importance are, their significance are, what needs to be done, how they might be best explored and interpreted for preservation of the point and interpretation for visitors. I feel privileged. It is gorgeous, just all in and of itself it's gorgeous. The archaeological sites make it even more so for me. Each of the archaeological sites has a story to tell about the people who lived at Cannons Point. And there's so much we don't know. I'm impressed by what we do know. But in the back of my mind as an archaeologist is I understand that what we know is only a fraction of what can be known. And the potential of learning that, filling out the blank pages of history and prehistory, is what I feel when I'm at Cannons Point, the tremendous potential, if preserved. What got my attention beyond the archaeology I knew about and it got my attention and I was looking for it, but just the total setting. The live oaks, the succession forests, the marshes. Like I said, I've been on most of the other sea islands, and what I've learned beyond the archaeology is that each of the islands off the Georgia coast is remarkable in its own way. Each of them also has its own personality, and I know that's not even a scientific term when you're talking about the ecology or the environment, but in another way, each island has its own particular set, particular landscape, particular combination of vegetation, a particular feel to it. When I first went to Cannons Point, I thought, aha, this is what St. Simon's personality is. This is the feel. This is distinctive from Sapelo or Ossabaw or St. Catherine's or Jekyll. This is the St. Simon's personality for a place. And it was the first time I was able to, I've been on St. Simon's, of course, for a long time, but it was the first time that I got that distinctive feel for the place and got a glimpse at St. Simon's original personality. What it must have been like is part of what goes through my mind. Actually, that goes through my wife's mind a whole lot better than me, because she looks at it with kind of a naive imagination. Boy, she wouldn't like me saying it was naive. But just the total, and the historical archaeological imagination is important. Kind of visualizing what life was like at that moment. You're walking in the same place that John Cooper and James Cooper lived and walked. At the Shell Ring, you're walking on top of a monument that was constructed 2500 BC, and your mind can go to, wow, I am walking where the Native Americans so many millennia ago lived. There were people here doing things, having a life. Okay, so my head goes there too. But what I'm looking at in the archaeological site is what is the evidence? What is the archaeological record? What can this tell us? Sometimes very small things about the past. In my head, I'm going, what is this? Okay. Trying to figure out what it is, what it means, what its significance is. Trying to see how the archaeological site has been altered over time, how it has changed, what is original, what is added onto So my head is occupied with a lot of technical details that a lot of people would probably find totally uninteresting. But as an archaeologist, I want to know the details, and then once I have the details together, I can construct a picture that will be exciting to my wife. Because exactly what a particular piece of pottery is, what time period it represents, what kind of vessel it was, might be interesting to some people, but what it means in the total picture of life and history is the bigger excitement for most people. A lot of the potential for Cannons Point is in the future. A lot of the potential for the Cannons Point archaeological sites is represented by a tremendous amount of information to be learned from the sites, with additional investigations and probably over the next few decades, or perhaps more than that. But if they're not preserved, that information will never be realized. We'll never learn more about the Native American sites. It's exciting for me to be near it, to be part of it, to be part of the preservation initiative for it, and it will provide a place that is remarkably original to St. Simons.